Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Sweaty Potato Meyer RC channel. And today guys, in this video, notice the camera set up a little different and all that stuff. But in this video, I want to go over what it takes to get the Punisher, pre-checks, whether it be pre-checks or post-checks, whether you do it after the run or before the next one. I wanted to go over the stuff that what I do and what I check on this thing to get it, to make sure it's ready to go, and I'm not losing any parts, or things on it aren't busted. Things aren't busted on it. So I just kind of wanted to go over that. We'll see what we got. All right. I know it seems kind of, I don't know, redundant or whatever, but I wanted to show you guys everything I do from start to beginning, or from beginning to end. I mean, start to beginning. Here, why don't we do it? We'll just slide this forward, that way I can just twist it and I'm not standing in front of the camera. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out all the body clips. I still haven't got the panels put on yet. Guys, I'm still, in the process of coming up with a sticker scheme. But I did trim this, and let me know in the comments, guys, if you like it. Because somebody was commenting on my last one. They were saying how the nose comes down and kind of look goofy to them. Well, I already have a new set, so what I did was I went ahead and trimmed this a little bit more flat. I kind of really like the way it looks, and I asked my wife, compared both of them to her, and she actually likes this one better too. So I think I might do this with the new panel. So. And then on the back of my cage, I use these square cut O-rings as isolators. Where my clips go. That's just something I never mentioned. Get the cage off of here. Okay, first off, and this is what I love about it, guys. First off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our 4mm. We're gonna start hitting all the 4mm. I'm just gonna point them out or talk about them. There's one here that needs to be checked. Okay, there's one here that needs to be checked. You got to be careful with this one because there's a nut going into some plastic. So if you over tighten it, the nut's gonna spin inside the plastic, and you're gonna be screwed in that way. So you just see, and that one was kind of loose there. So this is what I do every time before I drive it, guys. Every single time. Okay, now we can go to here. Check this. We don't have any 4mm back here. Check that. Okay, now we got to go under here. We got to check all the wheelie bar bolts. There's 6 of them. Okay, and then what I also do when I'm down here is I check these 4 bolts that hold the rear chassis and the front chassis together. They will work loose with all this Taylor RC torque and power. So I always check them, even Loctited. They will work themselves out. Okay, this thing, a lot of times it just laughs at Loctite. It's like, you got to use red Loctite. A lot of times I hate doing it because then you go and you're going to take it apart and the stuff's stuck so good, then it's hard coming apart. But let's see, we got these 2 under here to check yet. Actually, there's 3 here. That one's a little bit loose. Not too bad. And then while we got this going, Always got to do this, guys. Always got to do this before every run. It's good and tight. So now we're going to switch to 5mm. There's only one here. And then I like hitting these back bolts. And this is 13. These are just a little, they weren't really loose. They're just not as tight as I like them. All right. So I'm trying to go, yeah, now we need to move to our 3mm, and I go over everything with my 3mm too. Oh, we should probably go 2.5 first. There's just a few 2.5s. 9/32 for the socket. 2.5mm for this Allen wrench. Now we can move up to the 3. And then I just start, you know, you can start anywhere you want, but these things work loose. You have to go over every single fastener on the rear end. See, this one's loose. Because if you don't, you're going to wind up finding yourself in trouble. Because stuff will work loose, shit will work loose or whatever, and you're going to be wishing you checked it, because it will fail. This thing cannot be running with loose parts and loose fasteners. It just will not tolerate it. Okay. Now I'm just going around. That one's a little bit loose. There you can do. Okay. That one was not loose, but it was starting to work loose. Okay. And then this is one of my favorite ones. This is a special one that I got with one of my Bajas. Might have more. Oh shoot, never mind. I gotta have 5mm. That's this one that I made. I made that. Yep, good and tight. Okay. Let's see. Switch back to a 3. And gotta get this. Man, I gotta check hinge pin braces under here. That has happened to me twice. These bolts on this hinge pin brace back here, this rear hinge pin brace, they will back out. Now we can move on. Let's get, come on, work with me. Okay, now we can get the engine mounts, and this is crucial. Every run, guys, crucial. And then I'm going transmission and front rear bulkhead, and that should take care of it, because the last 6 are transmission housing, rear bulkhead, and the last 2 of the wheelie bar. So seems like let's see about this. Covered that. I'm just trying to think in my head, you know. I even got to go over this stuff. I found these work loose. grab our 10mm wrench. Okay. Another thing I like to do, I always like to check my exhaust header. Make sure it's good and tight. Okay. Then what I usually will do after I do that, if I've had a tire off, I'll put the machine down. I'm not gonna be able to do it because I don't have two people to film, and so I can show you how I do it. But what I usually do is I'll snug these up and I put the machine on the ground and I grab the tire by the top and I push down on the ratchet and I get them really good and snug. Like I said, I can't show you guys that on camera, but so that's usually what I go over, and I kind of just look over everything else. I make sure all my hinge pins have the bolts, the end cap bolts in them, and then I'll be checking. Oh. We broke the carbon fiber front hinge pin. We broke it. See, that's why you always got to check this stuff over. Yeah, this carbon fiber hinge pin is broken. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe I can zoom in. Okay, now, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, see, it's not on there. You can see it's on over here, but it's not there. So, whoops, sorry about that. So, she's out of commission until I get this front hinge pin replaced, and I just look over everything. Another good thing to look over is these little things. I don't know what you call them. I don't know what you would call them, a turnbuckle for your symmetrical steering. But these little turnbuckles, you got to make sure those aren't loose. You really gotta pay attention to everything and check your front shocks. Make sure they're not. The front isn't touching the ground much, so I guess it's touching the ground enough to break a hinge pin brace. So a carbon fiber one at that, because these carbon fiber hinge pins. So carbon fiber is 7 times stronger than aluminum and 10 times stronger than steel. So it broke that. I'm glad I saw that. So we'll have to get that baby replaced. Trying to think of anything else I might go over. I got to clean the air filter before I do anything. I got to service the air filter. It's due for servicing, and so I got to take the air filter off and wash it out and clean it out real good and re-oil it and all that stuff. So that's what I'll be doing there. So yeah, that's just a little peek of what it takes or what I do to get prepared to drive this Punisher. With all this Taylor RC power in it, it just seems like it gets more and more powerful every time I drive it. It just gets more angry and pissed off, and it just mad, just violent. It just so violent on things, So, well, that's gonna do it for this part of it.